Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Token Podcast. I'm your host and sometimes referee, the friendly neighborhood Zach Stat Pearson, and today I'm joined by he who knows all the streets because he has protected all the streets on PSN Drive, a one Officer 9000 plus one.
It's an exhausting job, let me tell you. How you doing?
Somebody got to pass out them piping hot ass whoopings. Speaking of assholes, and today I'm also joined by long-running friend, long-running anal tumor, a one Calliope the Rangiku.
Anything about ass whooping?
What?
You said that speaking of ass whoopings. Nobody said anything about that.
I feel like she didn't do it on purpose, but she embraced that it's always gonna look that way.
Maybe.
No, never.
You couldn't even lie with a straight face, and I'm in
No, I could not.
I'm in Chicago, and I know that you fucking have a shit-eating Sonic the Hedgehog grin on your fucking face.
Does it ever leave?
Yes.
I can almost imagine her saying, "You're too slow."
Did I ever tell you about that time that I wanted to cosplay as the little egg thieves from Spyro?
I try to forget it every night. So, whilst we are having this conversation, as of when I press this button at the end of this sentence, we will now have our next video up as an instant premiere. For the record, it's the video where we go on a 2-cent aisle and we just discuss X-Men, the new animated series. So if you guys want to link to it and promote it, I will give you a link in the announcement section right now. And there you go. And yes, I did put that song in the background.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm not gonna bullshit. It goes without saying that in an opinionated podcast that, you know, by its nature doesn't always have the right answers and is not always trying to portray itself as having all the right answers or lying and selling you a lie because no one's going to go back and verify what the fuck I said, barring a small amount of critics like a certain fuckboy Shapiro. But we do in fact today have an actual question that, to my knowledge, no one actually has a right answer for. And that is, when should you and shouldn't you start a new console cycle? And our follow-up question, which will be a little bit more manageable, is PC gaming currently in 2023 actually superior to console gaming, if it ever was, or does it even matter? Blah blah blah. And just so we're clear, I'm not interested in some console war. I am fucking disgusted about how comfortable people are with saying to my face PC master race, like I'm not supposed to be offended or remove some teeth. Yeah, like the first time I came across that phrase, it did not go well. Like people almost got arrested. Not me though, but people almost got arrested. It was, still to this day, I'm not over it. I was 15, I'm a grown man now, I'm still not over it, and it's just disgusting and disrespectful as hell to me. However, we're not here for that. So, last time, Calliope went first. So this time I'm going to go first. Hopefully with no one interrupting me by annoying me for their own personal amusement. Because
good luck.
X to doubt.
Literally, not even 5 seconds. 5 seconds after I said she couldn't wait 5 seconds.
No, I couldn't.
You know what? I miss your clones. They were nice to me. I need to find them.
Look, you call me out for it. I gotta act on it. I can't just let you get away with that.
Don't Stop sounding like me. What the fuck? Anyways, so I'm gonna go first for both topics. So when it comes to number one, is there a good time or a set time frame to release a new console? I believe we talked about this damn near 7 years ago at this point, but even back then, not only can I not remember my answer or the video we talked about it in, we're talking about it with a completely different group of people, and I don't think we came to something conclusive or if it's even possible. But let me say this.
Yep.
I don't know if there is an exact window of release. However, I do know that the common commercial assumption went from 6 to 7 years after a console's release. The 5th year you promote it, the 6th year you release it, to everyone trying to get close to a 10-year cycle. But here's the problem with the 10-year cycle concept. 10-year cycle concept does not mean make a new system in 10 years. 10-year cycle means support the current system for 10 years. Have games come out, alternate, controller colors, etc., etc., etc. Right? So, if that's the case, I'm not even like, bro, there's no correct answer because, well, I mean, we're I don't think we're necessarily too far in generational gaps apart, but we all remember that just going from the Super Nintendo to the Nintendo 64, that was like what, 3-4 years? Because the Super Nintendo came out in 1994. Actually, wait, what am I doing? I have a fucking phone right in front of me. And now we're going to consult British Google. Hey Google, when did the Super Nintendo release in North America?
September 9th, 1991. According to Wikipedia, it began shipping in limited quantities on August 23rd, 1991, with an official nationwide release date of September 9th, 1991.
Strange, that 2 release dates. So, do the math in your head real quick. That's 7 years. Now, PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2. Hey Google, when did the PlayStation 2 release?
I think that was 2000.
The 26th of October 2000. According to Wikipedia.
Okay, that's the 26th of October 2000. And the PlayStation 1 came out
95.
Yep. So that's 5 years. See what I mean? There's no exact consistency. And then the GameCube came out in 2002.
I think so.
Hey Google, when did the Nintendo GameCube come out?
The date of introduction of GameCube was the 14th of September 2001.
Damn. So the 64 was in 98, and then this thing came out in 2001. That's 3 years.
No, N64 was 96, I think.
Well, we're going to be talking to British Google a lot today. Hey Google.
And 64 was 96. I just pulled up a timeline.
Okay. So, you see those time gaps, and then go look at the PS2 to PS3. Don't worry, I know that one already. It's 10 years. But then if you look at the PS3 from the PS4, what was that one? They're constantly in a state of flux. I think people start making rumors and expecting things at year 5 of a console's existence. But here's the thing. That's not a guarantee, because first off, you have to produce a set amount of systems. And then how long do you promote it? How long do you market it? Do you go by when the developers get dev kits, which change like the winter until, release?
Wait a sec. You just said PS3 was 10 years from the PS2?
No.
It was 6.
PS4.
Oh, PS4.
Yeah, 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was when the first concept...
PS4 was 2013.
Yeah, and when did the PS3 come out? 2000.
2006. So that was 7 years.
Yeah, okay, so close to 10 years. They never hit that 10-year cycle, but they supported it for 10 years. So you see, like,
Yep.
the consoles don't even have. I keep saying consoles. The consoles don't even have a set timeline and time frame as a collective industry. Because we only get, well, Stadia's dead, thankfully. We technically
Didn't
only
even
get
last a year.
we technically only got 3 major consoles. The whole world. We only got 3 major consoles. Steam shit don't count before anyone says anything. We only got 3. And they don't even have a consistent scale. Mind you, if you exclude what made the PlayStation 1 come into existence, which was, Nintendo betraying Sony.
Mm-hmm.
If you just go and look at it the way it is, you can tell off the bat, off the rip, nothing is consistent with them. Because they don't even know what people want and when they want it. They don't even know how long is too long, how short is too short. And remember, also, Sony and Nintendo at different times were releasing dual systems, a stay-at-homer and a portable. Like, it's crazy if you stop and think about it, that as important and as big and as culturally relevant as these things are, they're almost like a musician's second album or third album. You don't know when it's coming until it's already done. Like, I like Ricky Martin. I know a lot of people gave him flack because, well, they just put him in that pop star category. He's a one pump chump, but no, he wasn't, and he still isn't. He is very beloved by the people of, Puerto Rico, and he's just a good musician. And one of the things people said all the time is, why did your next album take so long? He's like, yo, it took so long because I'm an artist and I take my time. There is no exact time frame I can give you. Now, this isn't an art form, but ironically, you need to utilize every art form and programming for video games. I think that the best we could do is say that the new system should at least be announced 6 years after a console is released. And I'm only saying that because I can't say an exact time frame because, well, for first and foremost, reminder, I know no one really noticed it because you basically have to be running a big ass company too, but there was a parts war and a parts shortage for almost 4 years straight. A little bit before the world got cooties, during the pandemic, and after. As of May 11th, when, the president made the announcement, which I find it weird how many people don't know that that's when it ended. It was national news. What the fuck?
Yep.
So I say 6 just because if you start averaging out the most recent consoles from our lifetimes, that's what it looks like when you start hearing developers have already seen the new system or they've seen the specs for the new system. And then a 7th year it releases. But even then, that's not a guarantee. You could fuck up wholeheartedly. Like, the 64 is a good system, but they fucked up on some level, and it wasn't able to update and upgrade in such a way to match anywhere near the PS2. And then,
And then
2
there
years...
was the mess with the 360.
Well, no, PS2 era, so Xbox at that time. And then a few years later, now you got a secondary competition in Xbox. But
Yep.
Was that really competition? Let's be honest. Hell no. Oh my god. So realistically speaking, that's the best answer I can give. I'm not gonna beat the dead horse. I don't have a way of even verifying that my answer could technically be viewed as right. I just say to myself, look, if you saw something about it on average, after the first 6 years is when we start hearing about a 2.0 of a system or a brand new system. At least going in the modern era. Now, second question, which is one better than the other? Wow, I mean, that's going to be a deep, long answer for me. We have to get ridiculously intimate. Video games, the console games are better. The console system as a concept is better. And I'm going to tell you why. And no, it's not actually going to be long-winded. It's because dedicated device, less issues, and it's easier to fix if there's an issue for two reasons. Number one, chances are, unless it was defective out of box, you almost never have to use your warranty. Number two, if there's something wrong with the game, it's going to get fixed unless the game has been abandoned, which means that you don't have to do anything for your game to fix itself because a patch gonna come. Whereas if you got a computer, you got third and fourth party elements involved all the time. How many people ever had a game system get a fucking virus? Don't worry, I'll wait. Exactly. Oh, if something overheats, it's probably not your fault. And you can get it sent back in and fixed for free. What if something happens to your keyboard? You clean it off because it's sticky, because your keyboard is a fucking gamepad. It's not because a computer can do more or has more. It can be upgraded internally. The console is better because the job is to play interactive digital media. And we're only exclusively talking about interactive digital media. So what does that mean? We automatically have an upper leg because a computer was never meant to do just one thing. Yes, a game system is also a computer, but I mean a legitimate general purpose computer unit. A game system is better because you don't have to do anything except install the game or put the disc in the slot for things to run. And if it's fucking up, a patch is coming that you don't even have to worry about. You don't have to go through no special menus, no options, look it up and manually install it yourself. And your shit ain't about to get a virus. I'm not saying it can't get hacked, but your shit ain't about to get a virus. So, that's just how I feel about that. All right, who want to go next?
I could go next.
The floor is yours, officer.
Okay, so with regard to the question of consoles, how long is too long and how short is too short, from looking into this a bit before we decided to do this video, I looked into the release cycles for the various, the big three consoles, Xbox, Sony, and Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. And it seemed, with the exception of of Microsoft, there was a 5 or 6 years from going back all the way to the SNES going forward for each new console release. It was either 5 or 6 years that they would wait to release the next one. I think that's probably a decent way to do things. I wouldn't go any shorter than maybe 4 years. But I also wouldn't go any longer than 7 years. From what I saw, I believe it was between the Xbox 360 and the next Xbox console, I want to say that was a little over 7 years, almost 8 years.
I'm going to see if there's like
too long.
Image that timelines video game system releases.
I have it. I've got it. Or I have one. But it is 8 years between 360 and Xbox One.
That's fine. Just drop it in a token cast open chat.
Gotcha. Then 8 years. That was too long.
It doesn't have everything, but it's good.
No, that's fine. It'll work. I'm gonna put this in on screen for the viewers at home too. Keep going. Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it for that first topic. Is no shorter than the shortest period they should go would be maybe 4.5 years. If, say, the console's doing not so good or there's some really big glaring problems and people are like, I don't want this. But 7 years or longer is too long. People are used to the current at least, people from our generation are, well, people born, in the late 80s and 90s are used to the, about 5 or 6 year cycle.
Yeah, I'm
And
not sure
I
where
don't
she
think they
fits.
should change that.
Okay.
Now, as for topic 2, I'm of the opinion that while yes, consoles are very much optimized for playing a video game, you can also optimize a PC for that. And these days, consoles are branching out into more than just video games and are being used as multimedia devices. Don't know if that'll last going forward, or maybe it'll just be the new thing all consoles have, but that is a thing they're doing, which could maybe complicate things a bit. I think they should probably keep it simple, but I'm admittedly someone who, when I have a game console, I'm only really using it to play games, not much else. But PC, you can optimize it to be just as good or better than a game console. So I would say PC is probably the better option because you can design it how you wish. At least if you have knowledge of, building a PC proper. Though you are right, there is the concern of viruses. That is always a problem. But a problem I'm willing to deal with for something that could get higher performance.
Okay. Rangiku, take us home.
So I think that I agree with the general consensus of 5 to 6 years between console releases. It seems like a good average, and it does have enough time to be able to update, whichever system it is, to a way that it can be better optimized from where it was, without waiting so long that people kind of give up and veer away from their loyalty to whatever system it is. Because we are in a consistent technological boom where it feels like every day there's something new happening, some new advancement, some new technology that takes things to the next level. So if you wait too long, then it's obsolete before it's even released. So I think that 5 to 6 years is a good buffer in that time frame as well. And then as far as console versus PC, I'm a console girly. I haven't had a lot of access, admittedly, to play things on a PC. Although the one time I did, I was trying to play Elden Ring on my ex's custom-made computer with their fancy high-speed internet. And I died because of internet lag, where it lagged right when I needed to dodge. So I got
Oh my god, that is exactly why I stopped investing.
I literally quit playing.
I mean, I didn't do that. I did worse, but it was not a being petty. It was a being just disenchanted. Like when a little kid finds out Santa Claus isn't fucking real. Bro, I actually got invested. There was a company that lets you rent ridiculously powerful machines for whatever reason, and everyone I know, not everyone, but a lot of people like to bitch at me about, PC's bad, you can get a PC, you ain't got to spend an arm and leg, it'll be stronger than every console. I was like, I don't fucking care if it's stronger than consoles, but PC mods though. Okay, well, I'll give you that. So I was like, okay, let me try this shit out. Shit you not, what game was it? I got XCOM 2, and I had PC mods to the point where almost my entire squad was Marvel characters, because somebody even put Iron Man in that bitch. And also some Overwatch 1 characters. So it was Marvel versus Overwatch, Marvel cross Overwatch in XCOM 2, right? They even sounded like them. Now,
sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, I set the graphics, I set the settings to max, and it didn't even fuck with the machine. It was like using 20% power. It barely used any RAM, right? Played it one day 4 hours. Woke up the next day, played it, turned it on. Took me 3.5 hours to get to the start screen without something fucking up that had no explanation. Because remember, when something fucks up on the computer, you have to go and ask the internet or a forum, pray someone responds in enough time, try to look for a YouTube video, then try to copy the steps in the YouTube video. And that shit don't work. You go in the cycle, or you pay someone to fix it a ridiculous amount of money that doesn't match the level of the problem that you're having, right? So I was like, why am I fucking torturing myself like this? And even when I do play video games and emulators, yeah, I got emulators, I'll admit it. Emulators on my computer, what am I doing with those games? I'm playing them because the system I have, it just don't work no more. Or the game I have, I don't have the system that goes to it. Or they don't manufacture the system anymore. And when I play those emulated shits, 80% of the time, they work. So I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be investing in this in the future. And I've yet to regret it.
Yeah, that was actually something else I was going to bring up. Like, I will give it to PC. Like, mods, emulators, they've got great options there. There is, I mean, if there is a game that you can think of, you can find it available on the PC, regardless of whether it's available on any console. Like we talked before with the digital versus physical media. I really like the game Third Birthday. You know what's not available on like the Sony store anymore? Any of the Parasite Eve games.
Yup.
They only just made the Persona games available. They only just made the older Final Fantasy games available.
Yup. A lot of it just comes down to the only way to play these games again is through emulation, and that's stupid.
Yeah, so that is definitely where a benefit comes in on PC. But I don't like having to use the internet because I don't trust it not to crash on me. So,
sounds like y'all might just have a real bad case of gremlins.
You know, I will not entirely contest that.
Hey, look. For me to get a virus, it's a rarity. I maybe get one virus per 10 years, okay? That's a really good streak. But also, a lot of that was because of trial and error as a child. There is no trial and error with video games. It's like, Zax, yeah? Don't scratch the disc. If you scratch the disc, the game may not work. Or it'll work up to a certain point, then we'll have to rebuy the game. And it'll be even worse if the game's on 2 or 3 discs. Imagine trying to beat a game, but you either, once you beat it, can't New Game Plus, or once you get past a certain part, you can never beat it. I was like, oh, that sucks. Oh, I'm not gonna fuck up no disc. I fucked up 3 discs, but fucking up 3 discs in the thousands of games that I played, that's a pretty good track record. Now, fucking, when you come over to physical cartridges, I couldn't fuck them up if I tried. I didn't want to fuck them up. So honestly, I can say that I don't hate or disrespect anyone for playing the console. I don't hate or disrespect anyone for playing the PC who doesn't come up to me and say PC master race or give me their opinion on why you should go into get away from consoles when no one fucking asked you. This is why I've never experienced mansplaining, but I can understand it because when people do that, I be making those same faces and feeling just as annoyed as women do. When
you had PC splaining.
That's a good one. And the worst part is it'll be somebody who I can like usually lift over my head with one fucking hand. You know how light you gotta be for me to do that? Don't get me wrong. I mean, I toss my 40-pound weight over 6 feet in the air every week. But real talk, like, I know that nerds don't understand that that's not a fucking compliment. But, you know, certain things that are a compliment or an insult are a compliment or an insult to another person. One man's trash, another man's treasure logic. But real talk, if you actually know an actual nerd, they are some of the most annoying and delusional people you'll ever meet because they won't even care if they're right or wrong. they'll tell you you're fucked up and you're wrong, and then when you go, okay, well, please explain to me, I would like to learn, half of them aren't going to do it, or half of them are just say you're an inferior human being because you don't think or have the exact same thing I do. It's like racist without being racist almost. I don't know how to describe it. It is fucking annoying because I can appreciate a cool desktop. I can appreciate a cool laptop. And now they got graphic GPUs now. So you literally don't have to have a desktop ever again. Because you can convert laptops into desktops, and they'll even have an interchangeable graphic card slot. You can do that now. But I will always, no matter what I say, have somebody say, no, just get a desktop. No, just get a desktop. No, just get a desktop. Here's why. Did I fucking ask you? Damn.
Welcome to every fucking conversation I ever have at a convention.
Well, see, you do that to yourself, though. And no, I'm not going to leave that as some ambiguous statement or whatever. I'll just quickly explain without mansplaining. You, by nature, are going to run into assholes and delusional assholes at a convention. However, you work retail at conventions. So that means you are the definition of a magnet for them. Also, last I checked, you in fact do not have a penis, or so I've been told. So that means that by default, the majority of these male or just, interested third parties who go to these conventions, and this is the only time they actually talk to a fucking the opposite sex longer than 5 minutes or who isn't biologically related to them, they're automatically going to be incentivized when they see you. That's the best way I can say it without accidentally complimenting you. It's like when dogs love their owners so much, they bring them a corpse of something they killed for no fucking reason. Well, that's actually the reason, because they think that they're giving a gift to their owner, last I checked. But you can't avoid it as long as you go to them, because that's where they congregate. It's not your fault. It is honestly not your fault. And my hand can only bitch slap so many fuckboys at one time. But it's not your fault. And I'm sorry you have to go through that. I know it sounds like we're joking, but no, I honestly feel bad for y'all to go through that, because I don't know their logic, but I know them when I see them. And I know that you almost can't convince them that they're doing anything wrong. It is fucking annoying.
Sounds like you might need to grow a second pair of arms so you can
yes,
get smack more
right?
people.
Bro, officer, okay. When I get a chance, besides the video, one day I'm going to show you a screenshot list of things my guy friends or dirty ass nerds who aren't my friends anymore have said about Rangiku. Just like it's normal conversations and shit, or the conversation won't even be about her, but I commented or liked something she said that day, and I get a shit ton of questions just for like a hot 5-10 minutes. Bro, I swear to God, I want to reach through my phone sometimes and choke half of them.
See, now you got me curious again.
Yeah, you say that a lot.
You got me curious too.
Well, it's actually going to show you, though.
Exactly.
That's true enough.
But no, like, backtracking to the actual... I've literally had people argue with me about my own designs from when I had, like, the t-shirt company.
Fucking nerds.
I've had... Yeah, because do you remember the Flurkin from Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
Somebody comes up and is like, oh, it's Cat Thulu. I'm like, it's a Flurkin. The shirt says, hello, Flurkin. They're like, no, it's Cat Thulu. I'm like, my guy, this is my company. This is my design.
See, this is why I hate that autistic
It's a Flurkin. I was like, it's a Flurkin from Captain Marvel. They're like, no, it's a Cat Thulu. I read the comics. That's not in there. I'm like, then you didn't fucking read the comics, because yes, it is.
Yep.
Welcome to the world of convention. See, the things I love, the people I like, the people I don't like admitting that I have mutual respect for or like, I don't like them being annoyed. And the things that annoy the fuck out of me, but I don't want people pissing off you, I get almost doubly annoyed, because I know they're only doing that to you because you look like you can't retaliate / you look approachable. But when it's
I'll fight a bitch. I don't care.
No. But when it's me, I will just go, hey, shut the fuck up. Go talk to somebody else. And that usually just works. Or they walk off, mumble something under their breath, and I don't care. Because here's the thing about someone mumbling something under their breath. ask yourself, why are they doing it? Because they can't take your ass out.
Yeah, I have to behave a little bit better because I'm representing another company now, not my own. But
yeah, I don't have that problem. The biggest problem I had, well, I mean, I've been saying it for years. Technically, it was about you, but it's not just about you. I've even said on this podcast, the biggest problem I have at conventions isn't even making friends at conventions. Because first off, why would I wait till a convention to make friends? That's always the dumbest thing new people do. But my thing is just that I honestly hate when I meet someone who's cool, respectable, that like we get along, but then I find out point blank, no bullshit aside, fucking, oh, it's not that you like somebody I know. I now have to figure out if you were fucking just sneaking around to try to get to them, or if you're just a fucking a pig in a blanket. Now, for the uninitiated, that's basically a short way of saying you're a fucking perverted pig, but you don't want to have it be public. So you want to act a certain way behind closed doors, and you think your homies, quote unquote, are the same way. Like, rough example, I ain't even got to say a name, but I can call up at least 5 times in the past 2 months where someone said, hey, how you know that bitch? Do she put out? Is she a hoe? How do I slide in? And it'll be someone married or someone in a happy relationship, or just someone whose first name isn't bitch.
Well then.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I've never called somebody a bitch, but it wasn't because of their sex. It was because they were annoying the fuck out of me, or they were in the middle of fighting and swinging off me, or they were a drunk asshole. I'll call you a bitch the minute you fucking start harassing people and you drunk. Done it all the time. But, no, there are dudes out here who literally think that a woman's gender, a woman's sex, a woman's name is the same thing, which is bitch. And they're so confident with it just because no one knocked their teeth out, or every woman they've said it to can't knock their teeth out. They just decided it's okay to do. And I'm just like, how the fuck do you think I'm your friend or that I would respect you? And there's never an explanation.
So in other words,
They
people
think it's
that we
learned
call
behavior.
incels.
No. Incels don't try to get laid. They just get mad that everyone else got laid, or isn't a virgin, or is in a committed relationship. It's all three. It's not just one. But
I think it's also a little bit of with incels, a lot of the time, they don't care about like trying to hide or mask it. They don't care about putting on a front to other people and then like going like with their quote unquote friends to show their true colors. Incels are just out about it.
See, and that's why I say I hate it, because it would be one thing if these guys, they basically said, hey, we're the shitty kind of frat boy when I first meet him. But no one's going to do that when you first meet him. I wish it could be that they just wrote this shit on their forehead. I wish women who did this shit, because yeah, they do it too, and it's almost worse because they think that it's only terrible when men do it. I've had women say that to me to my face, but they don't come with a sign that tells me that, so I basically have to play Rochambeau. But the thing is that I could say that about anything ever in life. Officer, you're fine right now, but tomorrow you can get a drug addiction, you become a psychopathic bastard who goes around, setting houses on fire for insurance money. I don't know. I'm not saying you would ever do something like that. And, you're not a drug addict, obviously. But that's the thing about whenever you do anything with humans. You are going to be playing Russian roulette. The only thing that I wish I could do is I could go and make a time machine, talk to future me and say, hey, what's the situation with this one? Oh, that one's a psychopath. That one doesn't actually care anything about you or any of your guy friends. They just want to smash all of your female friends, single or not single. This one likes to lie about everything to make themselves sound cooler because they're completely and totally insecure that their life is boring, that they're plain. Oh, and one day you're going to meet someone who theoretically checks off all your boxes for things you would like, but they actually terrify you. And they're going to end up being your neighbor, and they're not going to leave you alone until you give them, you break them off a piece even though you don't want to. Like, I don't have a time machine. I had to learn these things the hard way. It sucks. But because I meet cool people like the both of you, shut up, Rangiku. you know, I'll take 1,000 shit bags if it means I get 10 decent human beings, you know, because I can get rid of the shit bags, not feel anything, and keep a solid 10 who I can, you know, invest time and energy on. But that's just me, but my situation's unique. Like, none of my friends ever asked me anything about my origin story or my history, but I can tell you right now, I can call off at least a couple hundred friends who we've talked about their past, present, and future, or their personal issues, and, you know, I tried to help them with it. Should I be bothered by that? Yes. Why am I not bothered by that? I don't fucking know. I've been asking myself that for close to a dozen years, but I've just come to accept it. You'd be surprised how many people, like, they find out very, 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 very late that my middle name is Walter, or they think my first name is Walter. I don't know how that happens every couple years, but it does.
Your dad?
Yeah, my dad's full name, hold on. My dad's full name is actually just Walter Pearson. He was born before middle names were important. Sounds like a joke, true statement. So
I mean, my dad's the same, so.
yeah, so my name actually fits with his name. So technically, I'm not a junior or the second, which would be weird because then, you know, my big brother, which again, people don't know I have one, would be a weird situation for him because if I'm the second and he's like 30 years older than me, what the fuck? But because that means he could just make his first name my middle name and my last name his last name. So, you know, we share initials, him, me, and my mom. And, you know, I don't know. It's like, I don't hide it. I don't have intimate, serious questions that I won't answer. Okay, let me rephrase that. When it's not about certain people who don't need to be named, I have no problem answering, you know, serious or intimate questions about myself or about them or my connection to them. But for some reason, every few years, I get a bunch of friends that think my first name is Walter. I'm not mad about it. It's just weird. Okay, so I think that's pretty much everything. Let me check the time. $42. Oh, that's gonna be a quick edit. All right. Well, I don't know if you guys have a closing statement, but I do. To the people out there who have a preference to console gaming or PC gaming, I want you to know I don't fucking care. But don't be a prick about it. And I want to say specifically to my console gamers, hey, listen, there is no better or worse. It's based on individual and category and what you have access to. If you know that you are, you know, a middle classer in North America, which is really low class in almost every other country, let me tell you something right now. You get what you can afford to play, and no one should hold it against you. And for you upper crust bastards who own every system ever made, you know, the kind you had to go to auctions for, all the way down to a Nintendo Switch, hey, kudos. But I'm gonna tell you something right now, you know, there's no point in shitting on PC players because they're never gonna shut up. We can't fix it unless we all leave each other the fuck alone. Normally that doesn't actually fix anything. But in the case of consoles, it does. If we stop fighting or stop trying to act like, you know, there's a console war or that a console war is real outside of the actual console war, which is just who sells the most. I'm talking about the consumer end, not the industrial end, which the Alliance say doesn't exist because it looks cool. Listen, we should all just get along and be brothers and sisters. No matter what happens to a console or a game, it's going to end up as an emulation on a PC because these game systems and these companies aren't always around to preserve their shit, or they don't want to put their shit on a PC. Okay? Let's try to get along a little bit better and stop saying fucking master race. Okay, who wants to go next?
I can go next.
Cool, I'm
Really,
gonna get that video
just
for you.
yeah, it really just comes down to like what you like, but don't, you know, swear one off just because, you know, you maybe got one or two people who are really big assholes about it. PC gaming has some really good stuff that you can only find there. Console gaming has some good stuff that you can only find there. until, emulation's a thing, but that usually takes a long ass time. So, play what you like. Don't be an asshole. Oh, and, fuck Konami.
That never gets old. Okay, Rangiku, don't make me regret this.
No, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Let people enjoy things. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay, officer, I didn't send the screenshots yet, but I did send you the video. Alright, with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. And enjoy the Marvel 2 Centile that is currently up on the channel. See you guys when I see you.
Bye.
Let me